Stark contrast for Blake Snell from his first 3 starts this postseason. A total of 2 runs on 6 hits. So Snell looking for redemption here in Game 5, a pivotal Game 5 back at Dodger Stadium. All right, back here with the boys, Bobby V, Will Middlebrooks, and Lewis Brinson, and we look ahead to Game 5. It is Blake Snell getting the ball for the Dodgers. Trey Savage, the 22-year-old rookie, getting the ball for Toronto. And, Will, let's start right here with Blake Snell because he was roughed up in Game 1. As I mentioned, a stark contrast from his first 3 starts this postseason. What does he have to reestablish?
Yeah, so was 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks. Just didn't look the same, right? In the 2 previous, he went 14 scoreless, 2 total hits. Absolutely hardly any contact whatsoever. They had a good plan against them, right? They were attacking him early, similar to Ohtani, and then they knew once you get to a certain point, you start putting swings on him, he would start to get more erratic and start trying to pitch around you with this stuff. He does have big-time swing and miss stuff, and you can wait him out if you scare him a little bit, and they got to him early.
Yeah, and what you said, that pregame breakdown, you got to make him throw pitches. Obviously, this isn't the Blue Jays, or this isn't the Brewers lineup. This is a potent Blue Jays offense that puts the ball in play, makes you throw pitches, makes you throw quality pitches and get them out. They're not going to get themselves out rarely. So what he needs to do is get back to Blake Snell. You got to be in the zone. You got to attack these guys, even though they're going to be aggressive early. You got to get that changeup working in the zone. These guys are not going to fall for that changeup falling off the outside corner. You got a Bo Bichette that's having great at-bats behind Vladdy. So, I mean, again, and it looks like Vladdy, might be kind of getting going like he was in the DS again. So he's just going to have to be Blake Snell and, throw strikes to these guys and quality strikes to these guys.
Yeah, that quality that Blake has is fastball command. Mm-hmm. When he's right, he's hitting that inside corner. He's spotting that ball away, and then that other stuff plays so well. But he needs to have that. And, sometimes guys get into the late in the season, they get into postseason, they have that special game. He had that 8-inning game. People thought of him as a 6-inning pitcher. All of a sudden, he's 8 innings, he's shutting everyone down. He walks away, says, I did it. Maybe he thought it's time to go home and rest on your laurels. That doesn't happen in this game. As soon as you think you have this game knocked, it sneaks up and grabs you.
Mm-hmm. Well, and he was feeling much healthier, right? He was coming off the injury early in the season, the inflammation, and Dave Roberts was challenging him to pitch deeper into games. He didn't go that deep in Game 1. So when you have that trust between the manager and the starting pitcher, how does that change maybe when the last outing was not as good as what he had been doing?
In Game 5, it changes rapidly. If Dave Roberts sees the same Blake Snell who pitched the last game, he's not out there for 5-6 runs. He'll be out soon, and that will spell danger for their bullpen.
So a possible quick hook.
Absolutely.
That's what I was going to say. So as heavy as analytics are in this game, the eye test is still there.
Oh, yeah. Well, he said, I trust you. That's why he went 8 innings, because I trust you. And last inning, I left him in a little long because I trust him. Not Game 5.
No, not Game 5. You got a series that's tied. You got guaranteed to go back to Toronto. Like you said, Bobby, it's more of like, okay, if I'm seeing this same erratic, these guys are having better at-bats against him. He's not in the zone. He's not getting swing and miss. He's not getting these guys chasing like he usually does. I'm going to have a quick hook with him.
How about Trey Savage getting the ball for the Blue Jays? Here's a kid who has made more postseason starts than regular season starts. I mean, he is getting big-time experience here in the postseason, and they are relying on him in big spots and in big games. They rolled him out for Game 1, and here he is in Game 5 with a chance to take a 3-2 series lead back to Toronto.
Yeah, his stuff got him a bit of a reputation.
The splitter.
And then he was resting on his reputation. Last game, his splitter wasn't a player. It didn't work. It was a slider that he played heavy on, and you pointed that out, Will, right off the bat. He needs the split tomorrow, no doubt, and that's got to be his go-to pitch. His fastball 9-4 is all right, and that slider they've seen now. It's a different-looking slider, but now it's not as different as it was the first time they saw him. So the splits got to play.
Yeah, and if you go back to early in that Seattle series, when he didn't have a good
establishing.
average.
Yeah,
They didn't swing at the splitter,
Yeah.
right? Because so often when he would throw it, it was a ball.
Ball out
now
of
the
hand.
hard part with the splitter is just recognizing, because it looks like a fastball out of the hand. That's what makes it tough. But if you can recognize the spin, or even at the release point, they were just taking it. So he's got to be able to throw it for strikes as well, just so he can get swings below the zone. Now, we're going to talk fastball. I know his fastball is important for a split, but for him, he's got to land it for a strike just to show him he can.
Absolutely. And another thing he has to do is continue to neutralize the top of this order. Tonight, you see Shohei Ohtani was neutralized. They didn't have a chance to send him first base because struck out twice. He walked that first at bat, and then Mookie, keeping Mookie at bay because he's, kind of due for a breakout. And then again, with Freddie neutralizing him. So I think I agree with you, Bobby. He does need to establish that splitter, establish the fastball up in the zone. But again, the key to shutting down this Dodger lineup is the 3 MVPs in the front.
I want to stay right there with Mookie Betts because he's 3 for 19 in this series. And you guys were watching here in Game 4, and you said there's just not something right. Something's off about his approach and how he looks at the plate. He looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's rushed.
Yeah.
Right? His leg lift, his whole load, everything with his lower body is rushed. And when it's rushed, you get off your backside. You get off your backside, you lose that leverage and ability to turn behind the baseball, and you end up swinging down on balls. You're seeing breaking balls that are hanging that he would normally hits out to left field. He's cutting that ball.
Yep.
So he's missing it and flying out weakly to center field and to right field. It's a small tweak, right? It's one of those things you go through as a hitter, the ups and downs as a hitter, and you get in the cage, you look at video, and you go, I simply have to start sooner. It feels like you're starting 3 seconds too early, but it's a split-second change that's going to lock him back in.
Yeah, and we talk about Mookie. He's one of the hardest working guys, but in this moment, this late in the season, it's so tough to try to make an adjustment like that. Again, it's something small, and it's something that he can make overnight. But again, it's another thing that he kind of has to work through in a sense. But yeah, like we said, he is a little late. Looked like he's starting a little late, rushing his front foot. Looks like his front foot is kind of rushed forward. Like you said, stuff that I used to do is be in and out of the zone a lot. He looks like he's in and out of the zone. He's flailing to right. He's ahead of the breaking ball. He's ahead of the fastball. Sometimes even that last hit, he looked like he got it square, but it was off the end of the bat. So Mookie's just a little late. He's probably, we're going to use his word, I don't think he's pressing, but I think he feels the pressure of, maybe they're not going to pitch to Shohei like we talked about in pregame. They're not going to pitch to Shohei. I need to get it going, and that could get in your head a little bit, even at the superstar status that Mookie.
Isn't that great? Timing. They all want to be on time. Mm-hmm. The only way to be on time is to be early. If I want you to start this show at 8 o'clock, if you come a little early, you could be on time. But if you come a little late, there's no chance of being on time, right? And because it happens so quickly, as you said, Will, the amount of time early seems like so much time, but it's just a little time. But you better be early, because if you're late, you're in trouble.
And he's facing everybody's best. You know what I'm saying? Like he's facing 98.
You're in between those hitters?
Yeah, those pitchers, it's tough. Again, this late in the season to make an adjustment like that against the best of the best that's running out there every single night. Because again, we talked about it too. They walk Shohei. We got to get Mookie. I'm giving him my best effort. I'm giving my best stuff, my quality stuff.
Because who's waiting on deck?
Mr. Freddie Freeman.
That's it.
Mr. World Series. So he's got to get it going.
Well, we saw the Blue Jays top of the lineup make adjustments here in Game 4, right? Nathan Lucas moves to the leadoff spot. He was excellent in this game. Yep. We see Vladdy, we see Bo Bichette, and we were talking about how the fact that George Springer out of the lineup perhaps was a blessing in December.
Here's what it will look like. Blake Snell, who's been just great this postseason, but finally had his first blip in Game 1 because the Blue Jays made him work. He wasn't super sharp with his fastball. Trey Savage, also, it's amazing. The guy was in A-ball and called up, and now he's starting the biggest games of the year for them in the World Series. So Snell got beat up for the first time in a long time in that game. And Savage, Al, he, 4 innings, he was in trouble, but he kind of gutted through it. He only allowed 2 runs, kind of showed you something there. How do you handicap Game 5?
You got to remember, this guy started in Dunedin, right, and which is A-ball. I mean, that's unbelievable to be at this stage when you're 22 years old, a senior in college potentially. But look, in the first start, I think there was some nerves there. He was at home. There was a lot of pressure. And you know what? He didn't have his good split finger, and he didn't have his good fastball. What he did is he had a little bit of a cutter. I think in his Game 2, will be the second start in the World Series, I think he'll be much better, and the nerves will be a lot calmer.
Blake Snell, on the other hand, his fastball, he wasn't able to locate his fastball. His changeup looked like a BP fastball to batters. That's why he was getting hit by that changeup a lot his last outing. He need to come back and start locating his fastball so he can confuse batter, keep them off of balance so he can use that changeup and have a lot of gap in between. If he don't come back locating the fastball, he probably can get hit again, Cap.
Yeah, I say, look, the longer you go in a series, the higher the stakes. So it's going to be interesting to see how Savage handles this atmosphere at Dodger Stadium, because it is a little bit different, okay? And when it comes to Blake Snell, after his Game 1 loss, what did he keep saying repeatedly in his interview? I learned a lot. I learned a lot. So I would expect Blake Snell to come out here and absolutely deal tomorrow night.
The reason that why Snell has gone from good to great is a changeup. In last game, he got 5 hits on that changeup, which is a career high. That starts because of what you said, Poppy. He didn't have good fastball command, so as a hitter, you can almost eliminate the fastball because it's going to be a ball. They just kept getting out of the way, and then he came with that changeup, which was like a little BP fastball.
It's like a BP fastball.
The changeup will only be effective if he can get fastball strike one and then go from there.
See how he recovered overnight, getting some rest, see if he could take swings in the cage. Yeah. Obviously, he wasn't in the lineup. He didn't pinch hit because that's not the case. Don't be surprised to see him taken off this roster and replaced by tomorrow.
Does that tell you
because
something,
they won today, they think by the time they get to Toronto, he'll have a chance.
Right. Oh,
if they lost today and tomorrow's the go-home day, I think they would have replaced
If it's an oblique at all, there's no chance.
There's no chance.
He must have done something today to make him say, hey, 3 days might be enough to get me in there. Even Game 7 for a pinch hit is the way that I think they're looking at it. Otherwise, they're wasting that spot.
Right. It tells you something that they didn't take him off the roster.
That's what it told me. If they win today, they're okay. He's going to have a chance in Toronto, I think.
He's not going to be back.
You can't tell injuries. I know you can't. I know. You guys know injuries.
For what it's
They're
worth,
tough.
the winner of Game 5 when the series is tied 2-2 has gone on to win this series 68% of the time.
Huh.
So
it's more than half.
There you go. Like your chances, Bobby. Game 5, Wednesday night, back in Los Angeles. Blake Snell on the mound for the Dodgers. Shohei Savage gets the ball for the Blue Jays. A pivotal Game 5. We'll have full pregame and postgame coverage.
I talked Shane Bieber tonight. We talked in the pregame show. You know, he had to give them a big-time start tonight. He was the best he's been since they've gotten him. I mean, he had 2 wicked strikeouts of Ohtani tonight. His stuff was awesome.
Yeah, I tell you what, everyone in this stadium couldn't wait to have something to cheer for. Everyone here thought that it was 2 more games and we were not returning to Toronto. The series was going to be over. But the Toronto Blue Jays and Shane Bieber had something to say about that. I mean, he gave them exactly what they needed. They needed him to go out there and add a little bit of length, keep the crowd out of it, and give his offense a chance to get going.
I tell you what, Bieber came with a mindset, hey, my team played 18 innings last night. I got to go out there and stay as long as I could so our team can survive. And when you look at the bullpen coming right after him, they just continue just stopping the Dodgers offense, which I think, based on the 18 innings that they played last night, they don't look as strong as they look like they're going to be last night into this game. But Bieber, like we say in the pregame, he stayed north-south, left-right. He stayed out of the diamond, and that's why he dominated that big offense.
You're right, Pop. He was so impressive. I mean, he turned back the clock tonight and looked like Shane Bieber, the Cy Young winner, and he had all 4 pitches working. He only had 3 Ks, but two of them was against Ohtani, and he threw him a brilliant changeup, his best of the night, to strike him out the second time. Look, it's the kind of courageous performance you need at this time of the year. The whole world was betting against them. So that's why I asked Vlad, how was it in that locker room? And it was so telling, something Papa you would do, that you would say, hey, keep your head up, turn on the music. It just gives you a little insight to what this team is all about. They came out and performed, and give the manager a lot of credit. Those guys played their butts off last night. Even though they didn't win, they had the secondary lineup out there against the first lineup, and they battled their heck off. They just couldn't get enough hits.
It's a great question. It gives you a little insight into Vlad's leadership, too, right? And obviously, they came out loose tonight, but Shane Bieber really set the tone. Let's check in with him. He's with Ken Rosenthal now, right? They know about his resume, Cy Young winner, but he's coming back from Tommy John, and you hope he comes back, but they weren't guaranteed of that when they made this move. It was all worth it tonight. No matter what they gave up, it's worth it tonight.
Oh, and then some. I mean, Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins, 2 of the best executives in baseball. They've done a magnificent job with this roster, and those are the type of moves you have to make around the trading deadlines. They're a little bit contrarian, a little bit of, I don't know what, you have to think a little bit outside the box, because you're not going to go up against the Giants, the Dodgers that are spending over $500 million. You got to figure out a way how to win in the edges, and they did in this one in a big way.
Well, we all know that he's not a strikeout pitcher, but he also is the type of guy that he needs to have guy playing great defense behind him. When you better locate your pitches and stay away from that diamond, otherwise he will hurt you.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, he's not a strikeout pitcher, right? Because he's not. He can strike people out, but he pitches to contact. That's how he's able to get. It goes to show you don't have to strike out 15 guys as a team in order to win. Throw the ball over the plate, have them put it in play, keep the pitch count down, and you need your defense playing behind you. But this is the reason why they got him. The reason. And when they made the trade for him, a lot of people questioned it because they said, well, he's still hurt. Why would you trade for him? They traded for him for this reason tonight.
And let's understand the stage, right? It was a game 4, but it was really like a game 7. If they lose today, you're not beating the Dodgers 3 days in a row. So if you don't win today, it's basically going home. They had the perfect pitcher in Shane Bieber going tonight. A veteran that mixes up well with secondary stuff with a slow heartbeat is exactly what the great Andy Pettitte used to do for us.
Oh, there we go. We got a Pettitte match.
I was missing him.
It was a while. It had been a while. Meanwhile, the flip side. We talked so much about Shohei Ohtani. What he did tonight was incredible. He got into the 7th inning of this game, and then finally they got to him a little bit. He ended up being charged with 4 runs, but was out of the game. Bullpen gave it up immediately. Let's hear Shohei postgame.
When your team uses as many pitchers in as long a game as last night, does a start today feel any different for how much length you feel you have to give and quality you have to give?
特に昨日の試合の中で中継ぎ使われている中、今日はちょっと長いイニング投げないといけないっていうのは感じてました。それはもちろんそうですね。それはレギュラーシーズンでもそうです。ポストシーズンで昨日みたいに、なかなかあれぐらい長い試合ってのはないと思いますけど、スターティングピッチャーとしては、最低でも6回、今日はもちろん7回まで投げ切れれば一番良かったですけど、そこができなかったのが悔やまれるところかなと思います。Yes, I did. Whether that's during the regular season or the postseason, my goal is to be able to pitch 6 innings, and this situation, this game, I wanted to go 7. And it was regrettable that I wasn't able to finish that inning.
Ohtani didn't have a hit at the plate tonight, but what he did after playing 18 and getting on base a record 9 times last night was just sick. It really was. You look at his performance on the mound, got charged with 4 runs. He allowed the first 2 on in the 7th and then was lifted, and the bullpen gave it up. Just really all base hits for the Blue Jays, but I think we do have to appreciate how insane it was, Derek, that he gave you into the 7th inning tonight after what he did, less than a day ago.
100%. He said it's regrettable he didn't get through 7 innings. Why? I don't understand that. There's nothing he should regret. Ohtani is amazing. We thought he may look tired. He didn't look tired.
No.
At all. I mean, Vlad is Vlad. He hit a home run, a couple guys on base, ended up giving up 4 runs, but he did exactly what they needed him to do, right? They needed him to go deep in the game, and I think people are going to make this about, Ohtani struggled. He didn't struggle. You still have to go out and score runs. I think it's more on the Dodgers offense not being able to put together some string of hits and score some runs offensively. But Ohtani, it's amazing. Amazing what he did, and he shouldn't regret a thing.
I'm sorry, but I don't care that he didn't get any hit tonight. He went into the mound and he did what he was supposed to. Innings last night, he came in and pitched 6 innings. I wasn't expecting him to be for that long out there, but the guy's battled through it, man. He's a trooper, man.
For all the things that I've seen Shohei do, tonight was the single most impressive thing. I know as a player and playing for over 20 years, just like my guys right here, we know how hard it is to come play shortstop or third base or DH. To do what he did, look, all 18 players on the field, they were tired. You can see dead legs. You can see tired legs. Just like when you're a boxer, 15 rounds, 13th, 14th round, you have no legs. But for some reason, he was the only guy out there with high energy. And he was covering face. He was jumping around. We were joking in the green room. He's actually laughing. And we were like, how is he doing it? And look, he was brilliant. He threw great pitches. He made 1 mistake. to the wrong guy with a cement mixer, and it cost him 2 runs. Besides that, he was perfect.
Yeah, really good. And I think the one thing that it underscores, and Derek, you brought it up, is that the Dodgers offense still has not been great this postseason. Right? They've had superlative performances. Obviously, Freddie the hero with the walk-off last night in the 18th. Shohei's been magnificent. Teoscar's done a nice job. But these are main big-time players that are just not hitting right now for LA. And, you win the game last night, so it still masked all the opportunities. I think 4 games in a 2-2 World Series, I think we're still kind of waiting to see the Dodgers offense, right?
We are still waiting, but it's their pitching staff that's got them to this point.
Yeah.
And when I say pitching staff, it also counts Shohei because he's a hitter and a pitcher. So it's you keep sitting here and we're expecting it. We know it's going to happen. These guys are too good to struggle for an extended period of time, and sometimes it only takes 1 at bat, 1 inning to get guys rolling. So the Los Angeles Dodgers are playing a resilient team, the Toronto Blue Jays, that never give up. Every time people count them out, they find a way to get it done. Everyone in that clubhouse could not be happier right now because they're flying back to Toronto. The Dodgers clubhouse did not want to go to Toronto, but now it's 2 out of 3.
And Cat, there's 40,000 people tonight at Rogers Center that were pretty darn happy. Their home team is coming back. But look, we talked about this before we started, Kevin. We were kind of previewing the series, and we talked about David versus Goliath. But after 4 games, you can make, and it's not a stretch to say after 4 games, the Blue Jays have been a better team. Now, there's 3 games left, possibly. But they're +6 in runs. They have 6 more runs scored than the Dodgers. But when I look at that lineup, the one guy that you have to circle is the great Mookie Betts. Because if Mookie doesn't get going, that means that Shohei may not get 1 more at bat for the rest of the series. And that's something to watch.
I'll tell you what. You will say this. You will say, Shohei Ohtani have a hard job to do because he had to pitch and he had to hit. But he's just even more critical because if he doesn't hit, they don't hit. It seems like every night when they get going, it's because of him. Now, you have a lot of superstars in the ball club. You have a lot of professional hitters that until this point, they haven't been able to come through collectively.
So, Papi, let me stop you right there. You're one of the greatest clutch hitters in October. If you're in that clubhouse right now and you see that your team is struggling a little bit, what do you tell them?
Well, at this moment, having guys like Freddie who come through last night, my boy Mookie, you have Muncy, you have a whole squad right there.
Hernandez. Both Hernandez.
Edman. You have guys that they, throughout the season, put up great numbers. Now, we need to figure out the way that we just don't count with Ohtani, because at some point when they start pitching to Ohtani, what's going to happen? You're not going to score run? You have to figure out what to do to continue providing run, because until this point, if they don't have the starting pitching that they have, they'll probably be long going.
Yeah, good point.
Well, we're going back to Toronto, and I can only imagine what the immigration offer is going to say to you when we get back. Shane Bieber and a 6-2 Toronto win. Ernie Clement, playing wherever, third base tonight, 2 more hits, another RBI. He's been so solid. He's had 393 so far. Let's hear from him. He's with Tom. Ernie, Ernie's been so good. How about this? We talked before the World Series started, Game 1, Bichette coming back. What could he give you with the knee? Clearly wasn't totally healthy. With Springer out and with that, oblique, and they say he's day-to-day, but, I think it's a stretch if he plays. We'll see. Bichette's giving him something here, Alex. I mean, he missed the 1 game, but the games he's played, he's hitting 364 with 2 RBIs. He had a huge hit tonight. And they kind of need him without Springer.
So many times, Kevin, we give these managers a hard time because it's easy to criticize, and that's what they get the big bucks for. But John Schneider knows his team better than anybody. He's done a phenomenal job. We talked about him taking day off, too.
Yeah.
That was an incredible decision because it rested him. And let's not forget, the Dodgers played Game 4 and 5 yesterday. The Blue Jays only played 4, right? Because most of their starters sat on the bench. So one of the benefits for a guy like Bo is he played 1 game and then he came out for the 2nd game yesterday. And he came back with a lot of punch. And the last swing he had for the double, he looked like the old Bo, like he's back in shape.
Absolutely. And remember, during the regular season, this guy was one of their best hitters with running and score position. Now, not counting with him, and guy like Springer, who is day by day with a bad injury because that oblique injury. I had that injury before, and you did too.
Yeah.
You know that takes some time to recover. But when you are with a team like the Blue Jays and you are missing those two pieces, things get tougher.
You can't replace George Springer. He's instant offense as soon as he steps in the box, first pitch of the game. But if he's out and you need to replace him with someone, Bichette is a good replacement.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you said, he's one of the best hitters in the American League all season, one of the Blue Jays' best hitter, especially with runners in scoring position. So it seems like he's getting more and more comfortable. He's having better at-bats. Saw the double he hit there his last at-bat. Toronto, they're in a good spot, man. They're in a good spot. They are confident. They know regardless of what happens to them, they can still bounce back. They believe that, even if no one else does.
Gee, they're in a good spot today. I was going to say 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago. Earlier today, when we were right here in the desk, they felt terrible. And at least the world thought they were done.
Yep.
And it very much looked like the Dodgers were going to have another cakewalk in the World Series like they did last year. But after this game, it changes everything. It's game on now.
But guys, that's what made them so dangerous. Bouncing back today, feeling the way they feel before this game today, knowing that George Springer wasn't going to be available, knowing that Bichette is hitting with one leg, knowing that the bullpen last night got crushed. I mean, this is a team that if I'm the Dodgers, every play I make, every pitch I make, every swing I take, I be careful with.
I love what you said. And, Jeet, I know you liked what Mookie Betts said after the first loss. We don't care about yesterday. This is where leadership stands up. And how leadership looks is what John Schneider said. Hey, they haven't won the World Series. They won Game 2. They have 2 wins now. They need 2 more. And Vlad said the same thing. So the teams take the lead of their leaders, Schneider, Vlad, A+.
Yeah, it's ironic. The last 18-inning game, 2018, the team that lost won the next game. That was right. But the Red Sox won that series in 5. This case, Blue Jays absorbed the biggest punch from the Dodgers, got back up. Now we're 2-2.